Hello, YouTube. Well, I'm at the wonderful Pilot in Birmingham, Alabama. You know, the Project Pilot. So, I'm down for 20 hours almost. I'm here. I've been here for about an hour and a half. So, got here at 1 o'clock. And I'm not picking up until 11 o'clock in the morning tomorrow around the corner. 10 minutes away. So, no point in going to go sit at Wheel Wrecker Service that has a porta-john so my butt cheeks can get stuck to a porta-john toilet. Can you imagine that? That would be hilarious, right? I mean, like the kid in that Christmas movie, A Christmas Story, where he stuck his tongue to the pole like a dipstick. Anyway, so week numbers for week 50. I might not do week 51 because it's pretty much going to be right at 700 to 900 profit. So there's nothing going to be there. I've been tried to stay in the southeast. I'm not going to do that. I came back down this way because, plain and simple, well, I came back down this way because there was a decent trip coming down this way. I figured I'll just stay in the southeast and run here. I'm not going to do that. I don't care. I won't be going to Pennsylvania that much, but especially after that 30-car pileup. I don't know if any of y'all saw that, but 20 of it was semis, 2 people dead. Quit tailgating people. Quit driving so doggone fast. And quit driving so carelessly. I mean, I have no words for the carelessness. I understand that things happen, but I also understand that there's a lot of people not caring about how they drive and how it's going to affect them or other people. It's just like, oh, I'm just driving down the road. Anyway, so week numbers for week 50. 2 more weeks left in the year. Merry Christmas, y'all, because y'all ain't going to get a video from me at Christmas time. And if you don't say, and you say Happy Holidays, I don't care. Merry Christmas. Bite me. So we got 4907 for this week. And last week, plus another $10 for IC Regulatory Review, which is those stupid videos you got to watch. So they made them, they only give us like $5 per video, so there was an extra $10 because I did 2 different things. But if you combine, see, I was trying to get like 4 weeks, so I reached my goal, right? So a week before, I got 32.90. I think I posted it. I don't know. I got 32.90.10, and then last week I got 49.07.74. So between the 2 weeks, it's 81.97, right? Right at $8,200. So my next one, since I'm shorting myself so bad this week, and I'm not even thinking I'm going to have barely enough to cover the truck payment the week after, I'm going to dip into my funds, which I did not want to do, but I'm pretty much going to wipe it and redo it. So that's the problem when you go into this with nothing. Living paycheck to paycheck and then jumping into this job and then still living paycheck to paycheck because, you know, you get your experience working for a company that doesn't pay you near enough and then doesn't get you the trips. And then you jump into this. So I got to say, though, I got no complaints. I know I can do it now. I know where I got to go. I know what I got to do. So that being said, we're looking at, so between both weeks, it was like $1.60 a mile for both of them. The only reason the first week was at 32 was because there was a $1,009 trip that closed on Tuesday instead of Monday. So it would have been 42.09, which would have made this week 39.97 or something like that week 50. That being said, that puts me at and I've been hauling a lot of heavy, so I had like 2 scale loads week 49, 2 scale loads, week 50. So profit last week was 89. I'm sorry, expenses were approximately 89 cents a mile because I ran like 3,000 miles. No, I did not run 3,000 miles. I ran 2,600 miles. And a week before that, I ran 2,300. So expenses were about 92 cents a mile. Overall daily profit, week 50 was $1 a mile. Week 49 was 49 cents a mile, which totals to $1.49, which totals to 74.5 cents a mile for both weeks. And the reason I keep putting it in there as both weeks is because my closeout on Tuesday, I decided I was going to end up combining both weeks and shoot for an 8,000 goal for both weeks instead of a 4 for 1 week, since I didn't hit the 4 because of the rollover. So I met my goal. I passed my goal. Just barely, but I passed it. Which means, and $1.60 a mile. So, or $1.62, I think is what I added it up to. I don't remember. It was right around there. So I'm slowly climbing, because I was averaging $1.55, and now those last 2 weeks were like $1.62, which is really good. And third quarter will be coming in soon. I'm sorry, fourth quarter. The reason I have to keep looking down is because I got my computer on the floor. I'm sorry, but I'm not putting it anywhere where anybody's going to see it up here in this Project Birmingham, Alabama pilot. I'm about to go hide in the back. Some lady approached me, and I know how this works, okay? Some lady just came and beat on my door right before I made this video and gave me a sob story about her car's broke down. She doesn't know what a throttle body is and something else. So she knows the terminology of the vehicles. So I was having to say, well, let me go work on your car for you. I'll fix it for you. Oh, man. If you got throttle body problems, though, you're going to... Anyway, so she came out. I said, no, I ain't got no money. She's like, you don't even have any change? No change. You're not getting nothing from me, okay? I used to hang around this crackhead. This dude made, no lie, this guy made like anywhere from $400 to $600 per day walking around bumming money, right? If I had the unethical behavior and had no remorse for what I was doing, I'm too guilty conscience. I couldn't give the sob story this guy gave. But I mean, if I could do that, and it's tax free, they don't know what you're making, right? So $400, just imagine, I mean, $400 a day, 7 days a week. You don't even have to do that for 7 days a week. But if you did it for 7 days a week for a year, $400 a day, that's 120 grand tax free completely. And then, you could do taxes if you wanted to. Imagine that. What's your occupation? Well, it couldn't be homeless guy. It couldn't be bum. It'd have to be some kind of technical name. I can't think of what it would be. Some kind of professional. I don't know. Anyway, so my numbers that I'll be coming up with soon. So far, I mean, if I keep going the way I'm going, well, I'm not going to make anything next week. So that'll put me probably along the lines of the previous month, because that was Thanksgiving month where I had it right at 14. So, but I did do some number crunching, and according to my calculations, if I continue to carry on the way I've been carrying on, the gross revenue for a whole year and that's with the 2 weeks, basically. Well, I was off, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 5 days off, and then work 2 days during Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to do the same thing now. And I might make about the same amount. I might not. This week it doesn't look that good. But 5 days off then, 5 days off there, and then 2 to 3 days off, depending on when I could get done with my run for my third 3 weeks out. So I'll know the numbers on how many days I stayed in the truck better later on. After I get done with the fourth quarter, I'll crunch all those. But I did a little bit of number crunching, and I came out with, if I run the way I'm running, and that has bad weeks and good weeks in it so far, my first year, I should be able to gross So by July next year, I should be able to have grossed 180,000. So those are actually pretty good numbers. I've looked at some of the other guys, and I'm right on par with some of these other guys that have been doing it for a while. So I can't really complain. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are not even averaging $1.55 a mile to start. I mean, they've been there for a year, 2 or 3, and they're averaging like $1.40, $1.35. And I think their problem, I can't say what their problem is because I haven't looked at what they're actually doing. I mean, some of these guys, you have a choice when you go out here. Stay out 1 week, go home for the weekend. Stay out 2 weeks, go home for the weekend. And it also depends on your area. Where I'm living in the southeast, if you stay out for 1 week and then go home for the weekend, you'll be lucky to bring home $600, $700, $800 a week. I mean, I could do that. I could run and come home Saturday for a reset and leave back out Monday, and I could almost guarantee I could walk in with 900 to $1,000 every week. But that's not what I'm shooting for. We're shooting for more than that. I'm replacing 2 incomes here. So my wife's income and mine. And you know how that goes. So, but our business is picking up. So Crafty Creations is our business is picking up. My wife is doing not just vinyl, but we're doing t-shirts, mugs. We're getting into all of that stuff, or she is. She does some really nice work, and she doesn't believe me. I've seen some of this stuff these other people put out, and what in the world? She had requests for Christmas ornaments, and she had so many requests for Christmas ornaments. Once people started ordering them, we don't have enough ornaments. So I was like, well, I don't know what to do. She can't do anything because who is it? They ran out of ornaments at Hobby Lobby. They didn't have any more. So she went and bought some at one of these places that does Christmas ornament, or that has Christmas ornaments already made, and she took them apart and took the inside of them, made her own stuff in the ornament. So that's one way of doing it, I guess. But she's doing really good. So that's another business that's taken off. And then I'll be able to do my retail thing that I'm looking for. And hopefully my 5-10 year plan, it's still on track right now. So I won't be doing this in 10 years. I know that much. Hopefully I'll be out of this before 10 years. I mean, if anything, I'll take this truck somewhere else and put it on and let somebody else drive it, if I could find a good driver. But that's years down the road. That's at least after it's paid for or something like that, you know. It all depends. And it also depends on this AB5 crap that's going on, as far as independent contractors and all that. I haven't done enough research on that, but I tell you what, a lot of us guys are going to end up getting screwed. The Schneider IC Choice program, as well as DART, US Express, all these other lease programs, they aren't going to be able to work anymore because you just won't be able to run on as a lease operator. You'll have to get your own authority or something like that. So it's a shame. But anyway, those are my numbers. I'm projecting $0 profit week after this one. This week I'm only projecting $800 or $900 profit. So still, that ain't bad. I mean, if I take last week and this week and next week, so what is that? 33, 43, 54. You know, if I take all them weeks and I blend them all together, then it's still been a decent over $1,000 a week profit to the kitty. So, you know, paychecks wasn't too bad. I just haven't been able to save what I wanted to save. So anyway, other than that, I don't think I got anything else. Bouncing around the southeast is garbage. I can't find anything. I've been trying And I ended up down here in the area. I had picked a load that was going from a pet food place to Walmart, and it wasn't quite agreeing with what I had. It had a window of I think a 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock for pickup, and after my drop, which my pickup tomorrow isn't until 11 a.m., right? So after my drop, I have till tomorrow, from tomorrow until the next day at midnight to drop that load. And even if I ran hard, and it took them an hour to load it, even if I ran hard, I wouldn't get there and stopped close to my pickup until 10 or 11 p.m. If that. Probably later than that, because it was like an 8-hour run almost to get there, and that doesn't include the fighting any holiday traffic that I might run into, or traffic in Charlotte that I might run into, because I'm going from Birmingham to Charlotte, and I have to go through Atlanta. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm just praying that nothing stupid goes on during that time, and I get through it. Usually I can bounce through Atlanta. Atlanta's my hometown. Well, not Atlanta itself, but I lived in Georgia all my life, and I know how these idiots drive, and I know where the backups in Atlanta are, and I know what lane to be in to bebop around all these people. And just like anybody else in any other state, I wish I knew the traffic flow in some of these states, but it's not that hard to get through there most of the time if you hit it at the right time. Now tomorrow, I don't know if I'll be in Atlanta at the right time. But anyway, I ramble. I hope I don't get approached by no more. That girl. Oh, you got nice hair. Lady, I need a haircut. My hair looks like crap. Don't give me this. I don't want to hear it. I need a haircut. You're funny. I didn't say nothing, but I need a haircut. How is that funny? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so you guys, and then I'm a member of Trucker Feed and a few other first learning drivers, some kind of thing on Facebook that has new drivers that come on and ask questions and stuff. And there was one of them that said, well, I did it. I went and got not a US Express. Who was that? USA truck. A USA truck. This dude was promised new equipment and something else as a lease purchase. And they gave him a truck with 500,000 or 400,000 miles on it, pulled to the right, shook like crazy, all kinds of issues that were, I guarantee you there was a safety violation in that vehicle somewhere. And sucker. Look, guys, on a lease purchase, if you're getting a vehicle, no matter where you're getting it from, unless it's brand spanking new, even then, you need to get it looked at, get the oil check, get the maintenance records for that vehicle, and so on. I mean, there's reasons that some of these vehicles are used that are sitting. And if it's high mileage, you don't want that. You don't want a high mileage, especially when it's gonna run out soon. Because when you're first doing this, you're gonna run hard, and you're gonna run that vehicle hard. And if there's only 100,000 miles left on it, I'm guaranteed to put about 115 on this one my first year. So if there's only about 100,000 miles left on it, you better hope everything breaks before then. And then you still got to pay for labor. So most times. So, be real careful. This is why people say don't do leases, because of that guy with the USA truck. I mean, you can't just jump in it because it sounds good. Do a lot of research. Don't do a little bit. Do a lot. Schneider is one of the best ones to go to for something like this. But sometimes it's hard to get into. I don't know. Some of these guys, I don't know. I'm staying here for a little while, so my spot, you can't have my spot. Unless something silly happens, they decide to get rid of me. I was coming around a bend the other day in Virginia. It said 40-mile-an-hour curve. And I think I had dropped down to 35 to go around this bend. I just started to get around the bend to turn cruise control back on so it would pick up speed by itself. Hit about 36, 37 miles an hour, and the brakes locked up on me. I had 40 in the box. The computer, the radar freaked out. Brakes locked up on me. I ain't never had this happen before. Other people have talked about it, but I've never had it happen. And it set off a stability control. And I ain't had one of those since I figured out what I was doing wrong on my turns. So, needless to say, it shifted that trailer just enough to where it said, hey, your trailer's tipping over. Well, if you hadn't locked the brakes up on me, I thought it was a hard brake event. So, I had to call them up that day. Well, what happened? Well, I went around a bend after hitting cruise control. I was only doing like 35, 36. And she's like, yeah, that's right. And, I'll pay attention, lady. I know what I'm doing. I just don't understand. There was nobody there. Nobody in front of me. There was a truck like 3 or 4 car lengths behind me. These cliffs running up at 90 degrees right next to me. I mean, this wasn't like a curb and then the cliffs. This was right next to me. It was on a side road I ain't never been on. But got to be careful for that. Nothing else. Nothing else. I can't think of anything else. Just, when it comes to weather, if you don't feel safe, don't go. It doesn't matter who you work for. You're the one that is liable in the end. Don't forget it. Oh, well, you got to get this load there. No, you don't. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And if you are calling stop work authority, then forget. It doesn't matter what company you work for. If your company is such a D-bag company that they will not allow you to call stop work authority when you don't feel comfortable driving in a certain situation, then you need to find a different company. Plain and simple. And if you're driving in the teens, listen, this is what I do when I look at weather. 22 minutes of running my mouth. This is what I do when I look at the weather. So I've been going back to Pennsylvania occasionally, but I'll do Indianapolis, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, and so on. So what I do is when the snow starts coming and I see it coming, that's one of the reasons I came down here, because of the weather that was going through Indiana or Illinois. The Illinois community on Facebook, the weather guys were showing how bad it was, and it ended up being worse than they thought it was going to be. So here's what I do. I seen it was coming. I zip back down south. Now I'll stay down here for a little while, and then I'll be back up there. But of course, the reason I'm not going now is because of Christmas. So when I come back out, I'm going to go straight back up there. I don't care. I don't have chains. I got to go grab some. I'm going to go grab some of those because I got to grab another jug of antifreeze for a couple of bucks from these guys. But when you see it coming, leave. Don't stay in it unless if you really want to brave it, or if you've been doing it for a while and you're used to that kind of weather, stay in it. By all means, run how you run. I don't have a lot of experience in it, so I get out of it. And then when I feel it's safe to come back, I'll come back. So what I'll do is I'll watch the weather and I'll check the temperatures. One of the things you do, don't just check the snow and stuff, check your temperatures, because there's a certain temperature where it'll stay on the ground and a certain temperature where it won't. I don't know exactly what it is down to a science, but I do know that if it's below 32, well enough below 32 if you're going on to extreme back roads, because the back roads don't get hit as hard as the highways as far as snow plows and salting and stuff. So check the temperature. If the temperature is below, and I'm talking like I'll do 28 But once it starts to get below that, then I start really watching. If it's been below that temperature for days, I still try to stay away from that area, because even though they've cleaned it up, any little bit of moisture that collects on the ground, you're not going to be able to start early in the morning. You got to wait till daybreak, because your headlights aren't going to catch that black ice. There's other stuff that you're not going to catch. I don't know it all. I never claimed to know it all, but I do know that I'm lucky. I haven't hit nothing yet, but most of the time when I'm out there when it's super cold, I try to avoid going out before daylight, at least dusk, you know. Now, if I know it hasn't done anything, like the other day I was sitting in Ohio, I think it was, waiting to go get a load for a multiple drop load that was 40,000 pounds, and it was snowing that night, but it was only supposed to snow for an hour. It ended up snowing for 2 hours, and then it didn't do anything. It finally stopped. So the morning I woke up, there was a little bit of snow on the ground, but there was nothing on the roads, and everybody said the roads were fine. So that's another thing. Get yourself a CB. I mean, come on. And then ask them in the mornings, you know, I don't need a CB. Well, I don't need a CB either, but it's helped me in traffic and a few other situations. And they can also, you know, if you don't know your way around, they can guide you around traffic jams and such. It doesn't always help, but, you know, because there was one where they said, well, take exit 23 or whatever it was and go down that back road, because going through Indiana on 695, 495, whatever it was, they had one lane blocked, and it was backed up for a good 8-10 miles. I don't know. So I did a real quick evaluation, and if I took that exit or another exit, blocking around that, it would have taken me an extra 30 minutes, I think is what the time said on my GPS. And most traffic jams I'm in do not take but an extra 30 minutes max. And this one took 32 minutes. So, and I probably would have wasted more gas stopping and going at the red lights than I was going 20 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, just driving down the highway. So, but yeah, watch your weather. And it's that season to watch for traffic. Big time, guys. Big time. All the idiots are about to be driving around to visit their relatives. So, watch out. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh, yeah. And here's another thing I do. I know you Schneider guys, we always have to put our stickers on stuff. So I took a sticker. I took one of these stickers, the pod stickers, and I put a sheet of paper on the back of it and tore it off and just made it into a sticker. So now instead of running around and thinking I'm going to run out of stickers, I just take this little piece of paper. Of course, it doesn't work when you transflow your stuff. Now, if you transflow with the app, it does work. So I'll take a picture of it, right? I'll put my top sheet on, and then I'll put this on top of the first sheet, second sheet, however many sheets it is. I don't waste no stickers. I got a whole bunch of stickers now that I'm not going to be using probably until this one wears down and doesn't look like a sticker anymore. Because what do you do with those sheets afterwards? I mean, you end up throwing them away once you're done with them. Everything's pretty much done online anyway. This is mainly for DOT use. So, you know, take this and put that on top. And then when I'm done, throw my paperwork in the box and then throw the sticker off to the side. And that way, you know, if there's something pertinent information on there, you don't cover that up either if you want to keep the paperwork. I don't know why you would want to keep it. Of course, I can't say nothing. I've still got every single delivery I've made so far in a year and a half because I've just been too lazy to throw it away. That stuff will probably be sitting there for another year before I finally decide to throw it away. But anyway, I ain't got nothing else, fellas, other than nothing. I think my leak may have returned. I'm not sure. I gotta figure out where my antifreeze is going. It might be going in the overflow side. There's a little bit extra on that side, it looks like. But yeah, I got nothing else. But, you know, hit that subscribe, like, ring the bell, and so on and so on. And then get notified when I make more videos. But that's about it, folks. That's about it. I got nothing else. So, not that I can think of. I'm thinking, and I can't think of nothing else. So, y'all have a blessed day and a Merry Christmas.